quite a sad day, to be honest, but this video is going to be a bit of a transformation.
I am surrounded by a whole load of scenery. My entire collection is in this workshop. Today I have to sort through it and decide what to keep, what to sell and what to throw away. We've got some absolute relics here, and a lot of these boards have been created way before we started this channel.
So guys, this is probably the last video that I'm going to make in here. We are moving, and it's quite a sad day, to be honest, but this video is going to be a bit of a transformation. I'm going to pack up pretty much everything in this hobby space, models going into their cases, into boxes. I've got a couple of items of terrain that we're going to sell, obviously find a new home for, and yeah, going to take you on that journey. So I'm going to try and keep this flowing and as natural and kind of organic for you guys as possible, so you can see the whole process from packing up and clearing out of this space. So yeah, let's do it.
If you're new around here and watching for the first time, welcome. Keith and I have been building terrain for my ever-growing army of Warhammer for the last 20 years, including boards like Lake Town, Rivendell, Barrels Out of Bond, and today we will be showing you a few boards you will have never seen. I'm going to be packing up and boxing up everything in my hobby space, preparing for a move to a new home. For those that don't know, this workshop space has been with me for the last 5 years, and honestly given me so much joy, it's really hard to describe. All the late nights, countless hours of hobby projects, painting, building, unboxing new miniatures, I'm not sure what I would have done without it. Goblin Town, the Highlands and several others have to find a new home. But before we get into that, first up is to clear some space. I have so many boards, it's stupidly ridiculous really. So let's get all the models on the shelves in their cases before we move on to the terrain. Starting with Goblin Town, this was one of the first shelf style boards we created after the release of the first Hobbit film, An Unexpected Journey. All these parts and a few extras came from the Escape from Goblin Town box set that was released by Games Workshop. Thorin and the dwarves battle their way through the Goblin King and endless streams of goblins. I particularly enjoyed the extended version of this because there's a few extra moments you wouldn't normally get to see. If you haven't watched it yet, then maybe that's one for another night. Now if you're anything like me, you've got boxes and boxes of magazines, books, terrain and models. Yes, we are all insane with collecting as much as we do, some might even say unhealthy, but who really cares? So much so that doing this video and digging out my figure cases, I found my really old Imperial Guard army and some Space Marines. I mean, just look at the paint job on them, not bad for a 14-year-old David. Throwback even further and I found my very first Bilbo model. This guy's been with me since day dot, and this paint job I use as a remembrance for where I started and the journey that I've been on. After all the miniatures were packed away, well, as many of them as I could fit, I still have some that I don't have space for. If anyone has any figure cases they would like to donate, then please let me know. It was time to move on to the terrain. I have display boards coming out of my ears, dioramas, gaming boards and modular terrain all over the place. I'm not even kidding when I say this, I have way too much stuff. Anyway, shifting Lake Town and all the boards and boxes into the garage for the time being was the plan. Having everything in one place for the removals, and to be honest, just to get organised was the best way forward. Oh my days, I forgot to mention the spiders. Kid you not, they were everywhere. It's like Shelob and the Mirkwood spiders had crept from the depths to infest this wonderful space.
Now, if you remember these paints, who remembers them? Let me know in the comments. You're an absolute trooper. You've been around as long as I have.
Next up, we have an absolute relic. This is a small display for the Forbidden Pool, where Faramir and the Rangers hang out in Ithilien. We even created spears and shields to go on the inside of the mountain. We created it so you could have a removable top on the top of the board. We used a makeshift weather top, which was actually the first board Keith and I made together. This is one of the boards we will be moving on. It needs a few touch-ups, but then it will be out the door. If you are interested in any of the boards I'll be getting rid of, they'll be available from our Facebook community group, so make sure you join that. Link is in the description. Now it's time to try and organise the garage a little so I know where everything is when moving day comes in the next couple of weeks. I decided to use the metal shelves at the back to put my main boards on, like the Rohan Stronghold, Barrels Out of Bond and Erebor. This meant that the trestle table could be used for the boards that need a few touch-ups, so they'll be ready for shipping off to a new home. Another shelf board that we're going to be moving on to somewhere else is our Grassy Highlands display. It's the perfect fit for a warg chase with Radagast. This really doesn't need any work doing on it and it is good to go. If you're looking for some terrain, low maintenance but a good display piece to get your models all thematic, then this is the perfect fit for you. Now that's nearly everything sorted. I still have a few boxes left in the shed that I didn't have time for when making this video. Another day's work, however. I think I am about 80% of the way through.
So this is pretty much it. I've moved a ton of boxes and pretty much all the terrain into the garage, ready for our move. And yeah, this is about it. It's empty shelves, empty space, and I don't really know where to begin. We moved up here in 2018 and I've had this workspace for the last 5 years. It's had some good memories. It's made a ton of terrain. The amount of late nights I've been sat here painting before, I moved out and got married, and it's a weird one. It's a weird feeling, but I'm super excited for what we've got planned for the rest of this year. Rohan Edoras Part 4, building Edoras, that is coming soon. Osgiliath, we've started. I need to finish that and really get to grips with the new Gondor Tower and the mansion. That's super exciting. And we're going to jump into some other systems which I can't wait to kick off on this channel.
So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash that subscribe button and share it with somebody new. If you'd like to find out about the terrain we've got available, join our Facebook group. Until then guys, I will see you in a future video.